CQ, 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 CQ the Old Friends Net. This is WA4LLR, Dave in Burnsville, North Carolina, calling CQ the Old Friends Net. This net meets 3 times weekly, Tuesday mornings 9 a.m., Thursday mornings 9 a.m., and Sunday afternoons at 4 p.m. on this frequency. And the net is conducted in the amplitude modulation mode, carried out in the old-fashioned round table format. Any station capable of generating an AM signal is welcome to attend. The net mainly caters to vintage gear, but any rig that will produce AM is welcome. The net's a great place to look for information, parts and pieces, maybe trade some gear, and just have a general good time talking about radio. So, stations wishing to check into the Old Friends Net, give me a call and come down.
N4LQ.
KN4R.
WB4ARK.
WB4NKL.
Okay, somebody doubled with Cliff right there. Who was that?
WS2U.
All right, got you, Mir. Go ahead. All right, let me tell you who I have. I have N4LQ, KN4R, WB4ARK, let's see, QH. I'm having a brain cramp this morning. Sorry about that. I believe that's Lyle, but I may be wrong. WB4NKL and WF2U. Who else do we have?
W4VRO. W4MEC.
J4VWD.
All right, we have W4VRO, W4MEC, K4VWD. Do we have any more? All right, let me run through it one more time. LQ, R, ARK, QH, NKL, U, VRO, MEC, VWD. Who did I miss? All righty, we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning to everybody. About 34 degrees, sunny up here in the eastern part of Yancey County, and they're calling for snow tonight and in the morning. So there we go. What can you say? It's that time of year, I guess. But everybody is sounding good so far. So let's go ahead and get started. Steve, kick us off. N4LQ and the group WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, N4LQ. Well, good morning. It's 38 here in Shelby and really sunny. I've been out on the road, went over to the doctor's office and just got back. And right before I left, I happened to come up with this idea on the Johnson Valiant that I've been working on, and looked, and lo and behold, I saw the main blocking capacitor on the finals was a 500 picofarad instead of a 2000. And I bet you that's got something to do with the problems that I've been having. So I'm scrounging around here trying to come up with a capacitor and anxious to get that thing changed out and see what happens. No snow here. It's going to be 36 tonight, 25 tomorrow night. It looks like rain for the weekend again, and we got 1.5 inch last weekend. I was really surprised. Woke up and had a rain gauge full of water. So Over to you, Brian, KN4R, N4LQ.
Okay, Steve, very good. N4LQ and the Tuesday Old Friends. This is Brian, KN4R. As you can probably tell, I'm on the GRC9 today with a little amplifier in line and copying everybody just fine. Happy Tuesday to all. 42 degrees here, going to 56. Sunny. I'm working on honeydews today. We're changing out some lights in the house and also have a exhaust fan in the attic that's all gummed up. So I need to degrease that and get it ready to go back in. So, and Steve, good luck on the Johnson Valiant. I just wanted to say I've been enjoying your repair and tech discussions that have been happening on 3885 in the afternoon, usually with Cliff, but also with others. So it's very entertaining. So go ahead, buddy. WB4ARK in the group. KN4R.
KN4R, WB4ARK. Okay, Brian. Very good signal today, as all the signals are. Bright and sunny today, as it was yesterday, and 33 degrees at about 7:30 this morning. So not too cold, and it's looks like it's going to be a nice day. I guess we're going to have some rain moving this way. It looks like later this week rain will hit this area and help build up the lake level again. It still hasn't come up much from the last front that came through, so we're hoping for another one that will improve the water table around in this area. Well, not much else going on here. Waiting on a battery to come in, a battery unit. Actually, it's a timekeeping unit that plugs into my spectrum analyzer, and so waiting on that to come in sometime today from Mauser. So that's what we got on our plate for today. I'm not sure who it goes to after me. Dave said the call was QH, but I'm not sure what was before that, and I don't have it on my roster. So anybody with that call, take it away. WB4ARK.
Yeah, okay, we were good. WB4ARK and 4QH and 4 Quebec Hotel. We're here in Toccoa, Georgia on the DX-60 today. Very chilly morning, very cold actually, about 38 degrees. And got up this morning and the car is plugged. When the battery in my car goes dead, the fuel door goes wide open, the trunk goes wide open, and the driver's side seat converts to a bed. So, how about that? At any rate, beautiful day. Gotta go to the doctor's today in Athens myself. Not sure who gets it next, but everybody is sounding pretty good here. Steve, you're high in frequency. You're about KC high in frequency there, buddy. I'm not sure who gets it next. N4QH standing by.
Go ahead, Cliff.
N4QH, WB4NKL, copied about 50% of that, Lyle. I guess Toccoa is a little far out for the conditions this morning. Copying everybody else pretty well. Got 38 degrees here, and which we were needing bad, and I'm like Steve, he really couldn't tell it except in the rain gauge. The ground was so dry, it just soaked it all up in a hurry. Didn't have any puddles or anything around. So hopefully we'll get some more added to that. Steve, I was looking at the Valiant 2 schematic, which I've got here in front of me. They show a 500 picofarad in that position, coupling capacitor. So don't know if that will help you out much or not. I'll send it on around. Go ahead, Mir, WF2U, it's WB4NKL.
Roger, WB4 NKL. And the group, this is WF2U. Well, good morning, everybody. Signals are booming in here. Cliff, you taking the prize for so far in this rotation. For the best signal, you are picking up to 40/9, which means almost pegging the S-meter of my PMR7. It's a factory S-meter built into the original power supply for the PMR7. And I'm running the AF67, about 35 watts carrier. And the antenna is an NSET half rate for 80 meters. And it's about 45, almost 50 feet high. And we started the day at I started at 8, and I got up at 6:30. It's 33 degrees outside in my digital weather station, right here in the backyard. And presently it's up to 45, and expected to go up to about 58 today later. So, signal so far, Dave, you were 10/9, going a little bit upward with a little QSB. Steve, you were between 20 to 30 dB/9 with QSB. Brian, 10/9. Buddy, 30/9. And for QH was about 10/9. So, see the rest. Great. W4VRO. This is WF2U.
WF2U and the net, W4VRO. Very good meter, 35 watts is Q5. Most signals are good. Not as strong as other times, but good signals with QSB. And Dave, good morning to you, and good morning to everyone on the net. Dave, sounds like you're going to have winter weather. I guess you've had some winter weather already. And Steve, congratulations on the rain. We've had some rain, but it's been very light, although prolonged often. Sometimes it's rained all night, but very lightly. So, thankful for that. Still we need more rain here. And Brian, good signal this morning. And Buddy, most signals are fairly strong, but quite a bit of QSB. Lyle, copying you very well. The DX-60 sounds good. And it was 33 degrees here at sunrise, and it's almost clear. There are a few white clouds, and it's calm. So, Charlie, I think it goes to you, but there may have been a station between us. If so, Dave can straighten me out. W4MEC in the group, W4VRO.
Yeah, I think it was to me. W4VRO in the group W4MEC. Well, good morning, everybody. It's a 30-degree clear day here in Henderson County, at least this corner of it. And nice day outside. Still fighting to getting over this cold. Vitamin C seems to be keeping things in check now. Don't have to take any decongestant so I can breathe. So at night when I'm sleeping, so that's a big plus. I wanted to watch a movie last night, and my darn DVR
DVD player didn't work. It loaded the disc and wouldn't do anything. I had an older one, hooked it up, it loaded a disc and it said no disc, so threw those aside. My son gave me a computer loaded with all kinds of movies and TV shows, and I actually had it near the TV and hooked up, and I could turn it on. And darn it, the DVD drawer would not open on this stupid thing, so I could put the movie in. So later on, I said, you know, I remembered that there was a manual override on the DVD player. That little hole in the front panel there, you can stick a paper clip through, and I did. I pushed the open door button and put the paper clip through there, and sure enough, it opened up, and I could load the movie. And funny thing was, when the movie was over, it actually ejected it, so maybe it was just a little, hadn't been used lately. So anyway, he's got all kinds of movies on there, including series like Hogan's Heroes and McHale's Navy, F Troop, all the episodes of F Troop, and Andy Griffith, everything's on there, and he found a lot of them he found, of course, on the internet. The most interesting ones are the Tom and Jerry cartoons of old, the one from the 50s. Believe it or not, some of them are totally unavailable in this country because of woke, or what do you call it, PC, not woke, because this predates woke, because of PC, and some of them are heavily edited. But there are archives overseas where you can get the unedited, complete versions, and he put a whole menu of them together for me for every single episode, and including Roadrunner. Everybody's got to have a Roadrunner for cartoons. You'd be amazed at the number of kids that have never seen a Tom and Jerry or Roadrunner cartoon, real one. And one of the famous ones that they edited is the leg vitamin Roadrunner, where they took out him taking vitamins to make the Roadrunner, or rather the Wile E. Coyote, go fast. There was one scene in there where he had been chasing them and taking one vitamin at a time. Well, he finally totally jugs the whole bottle of vitamins, and they removed that entire scene out of there. So you kind of missed the context of how come his legs turned into those of Charles Atlas, and he could chase down the darn Roadrunner. So all those cartoons that we watched as a kid, or maybe you watched with your children, that have apparently over the years turned everybody into criminals, so they had to edit them all. So, anyway, let's go down to Lee, K4VWD in the group, W4MEC.
Okay, Charlie, thank you. W4MEC, K4VWD. First of all, don't forget we got a lunch for everybody that can make it, and I hope all of you can. And Lyle, I'm copying you okay this morning here in Greenville. The temperature right now is 46. When I got up this morning, it was 38. So, but it's sunshiny bright out there. It's going to be a nice day. By the way, I called Earl Blair yesterday, W4ZEQ. I had forgotten, Earl is 96. So, his next birthday, he'll be 97. Mercy. But Earl's doing fine. He's still driving and taking care of himself. And he lives alone at the moment. And Steve, thank you for the 160-meter net last night. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was good. So with that, I'll keep it going and back up to you, Dave. WA4LLR in the group, K4VWD.
All right, Lee, fine business. Do we have anybody else that would like to come aboard? Come now. Okay, not hearing anything. Well, Lee, thanks for reminding us about lunch Thursday, and thanks for the update on Earl, 96. Wow, that's wonderful. He's still on his own, able to do what he needs to do. That's something to be thankful for. And Charlie, I wondered what had turned us all into criminals, and now we know it was the cartoons we watched back in the 50s and 60s. Well, you mentioned two of my favorite old-time shows, Hogan's Heroes and McHale's Navy. Well, Andy Griffith, of course. But, man, that was some good television back in those days. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Ray, good hearing you this morning. Mirror sounding good up here. And I am curious, you're talking about running your, I think you said PMR7, with the factory power supply that has the S meter built in. I have that as well. I'm curious as how you're muting that receiver. I was trying to figure a good way to mute the receiver using that standalone power supply with the S meter. So you shed a little light on that when you come back through. Let's see, Cliff, I'm assuming you're on the DX100B. It still sounds good. Lyle, good morning to you. You're not blowing my speaker out, but 100% copy. Sorry about the dead battery and everything that croaks when it goes out. I know what you mean. Buddy, you're sounding good as always. And let's see. Brian, good luck on getting degreasing that exhaust fan. Man, that's a job I don't envy you. I've been doing some propane work in some of the restaurants, and Lord, some of those exhaust systems, the grease that's in there is just, I don't know how it keeps from burning the place down. Anyway, GRC9 sounds good. And Steve, sorry you got no snow in the forecast, man. I'll be most happy to lend you some if we get it. Our space weather today, sunspot count is 113, solar flux index is 138, and the last K index I saw was 3.33, on the high end of mostly stable. A few things from this day in history. On this day in 1484, Pope Innocent VIII condemned witchcraft and dispatched inquisitors to check out Germany and other places. On this day in 1901, Walt Disney was born. On this day in 1901, Werner Heisenberg, German physicist, was born. Let's see, on this day in 2013, Nelson Mandela passed away at age 95. On this day in 1952, London was blanketed with a lethal smog that caused thousands of deaths, and it prompted the Clean Air Act. On this day in 1872, the American ship Mary Celeste was found abandoned 400 nautical miles off the Azores, and the fate of the 10 people aboard still remains a mystery. On this day in 1848, President James K. Polk confirmed the discovery of gold in California and helped spark the gold rush that sent about 300,000 people to that territory. On this day in 1839, George Armstrong Custer was born. And on this day in 1791, composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart died in Vienna at age 35. My goodness. And on this day in 1782, Martin Van Buren, who served as the 8th President of the United States and was one of the founders of the Democrat Party, was born. So there you go. That's what was going on this day in history. Down to you, Steve, N4LQ, WA4LLR.
All right, Dave, WA4LLR, N4LQ, Pope Innocent. Wow. So what's this stuff about me being a KC high? Oh no, I'm using a digital DDS VFO, and it's 3715, and I'm showing exactly that on the receiver too. So I don't know, Lyle, what happened. Anyway, I'm on the DX-60 with the built-in VFO, and I'm driving the AL82 amplifier to about 250 watts carrier and the loop antenna. And Brian, I just wanted to tell you that I'm happy to report that you have zero hum. That is a very nice sounding GRC9. You can kind of tell it's got a little bit of the military characteristic, but boy, it must be a good power supply in that thing. And let's see here. Oh, Cliff. Yeah, okay on the Valiant 2's value being 500 PF. Well, that's kind of a letdown. Apparently, it doesn't matter if you can use 2000. That's what the manual says. 2000 in the Viking or the Valiant manual. And that's a second discrepancy. They just made some major changes. I wonder why they went from 2000 down to 500. Oh well, I'll experiment with it anyway and see what happens. And Lee, thank you for checking into the net on 160 last night. And I know Lee has to throw some switches and load up some tuners and do all kinds of tricks to do that. And I noticed when you first came on, Lee, you had some kind of an intermittent scratchy sound in the audio, and then it just kind of went away. So I don't know if something was loose or what happened there. But anyway, you were your usual self on 160 with an 80-meter dipole fed as a dipole. And that kind of surprised me, but it shouldn't, because you're always strong no matter where you're at. And as far as muting the, I can comment on that. I'm not sure how Ray's doing it, but my TR switch, it's RF sensing, and I just put an extra relay in there. Well, this one already had a relay for audio. This is the one from Hayseed Hamfest, who got them from RAND Technologies, but it's got the audio chain relay in it, so you can just break that to the receiver with it. I did add another relay for keying the amplifier. So, Brian, go ahead, KN4R, N4LQ.
Okay, Steve, very good. N4LQ and the Tuesday net. This is Brian, KN4R. Well, first of all, thank you very much for the zero hum report, Steve. I'm going to have to be on this radio more often. This is my favorite. I've got actually three GRC9s at the moment, and this is the best one of the bunch. And I am using a big AC power supply, so it's bigger than the GRC9, but works good. I'd like to get a dynamotor for this thing one of these days, and I'm still working on the hand generator because I want to use that for a demo. But I'm copying everybody 100%. Ray, you got a really nice signal up here. Lyle, you're coming through just fine. So, and it's great to hear that the 116-meter net is growing by leaps and bounds. That's terrific. Let's see, Tom, WA4FJQ, is coming by here at 2 o'clock or so today. He's bringing his Centurion amp for transport to Spartanburg to Mr. Charlie. So just wanted to give you that a heads up, Charlie. So, and I guess that's about it. So let's keep it moving there. WB4ARK in the group, KN4R.
KN4R, WB4ARK, okay, Brian. Very good signal. Still a little high-pitched audio there, but basically it sounds good. Let's see. Well, Lyle, I apologize for missing your call. I had it down here penciled in on the roster, so to speak, and I overlooked it. But your signal when you called in was very low. It was almost unreadable here, so that's why I missed jotting your name down in the list. Let's see. Well, looks like you were almost completely shot down, Charlie, on your on your DVDs. Yeah, I've got one. I have to turn it on and then turn it back off and then turn it back on again. It's developed a problem. I've been through it, replaced capacitors. I don't know exactly what's going on, but it's got an issue. And so when we play our cat video on, so it has to work every day, or the cat's not happy. I miss hearing Earl, and it's good to hear that Earl's doing okay. W4ZEQ, miss giving that call out. Well, let's see what else we got here. Regarding your coupling capacitor there, Steve, I think you said that was a coupling capacitor between the final and the tank circuit, or the output to the antenna. If that was, my 4400 uses 1000 picofarad, and so does the RT13, I think, uses a little bit higher, but that's about it. I think 500 would work fine, and I wonder if you've got a problem with one of the capacitors not working correctly. Not sure what your symptoms are, but anyway, that's here or there. Well, that's about it for me. I'll turn it over to N4QH. Wow, take it. WB4ARK.
Yeah, okay, we were good. WB4ARK. And 4QH right back. Boy, I'm telling you what, you have one hell of a signal this morning. It's very good. Well, guys, I'm going to slide on out of here and get this battery out of the car and get over to Walmart and get me a new battery so that I can get to the doctor in Athens, Georgia this afternoon. That's a good thing. Over to the next. This is N4QH, Lyle and Tacoma. I'll say 73 from now.
N4QH, WB4NKL. Just copied about 50% of that one, Lyle. Everybody else is coming in pretty good. Ray's got a good signal up here. I'm running the DX100B again. So about 100 watts a carrier. Yeah, I miss Earl. He was on here when I first started checking in to the old friends net, I guess about the time I retired 9 years ago, and I remember he was seemed like up in the area of Southwest Virginia. I was originally from up in there. Glad to hear he's still around. I guess I'll say 73s. Enjoyed it. Get out here and see about getting some exercise in. And I'll try to catch everybody there Thursday. So 73s for now. Go ahead, Mir. WF2U, WB4NKL.
Yo, Roger, WB4NKL and the net. This is WF2U. Well, this time I couldn't copy N4QH, and it's completely disappeared under the little bit of noise that we have here. This is about a 4. And interesting clip. You started out with a nice, this time a little bit down, like 20/9, and you fade it down to about SA. So there is a deep QSB or removing condition. They reply to your question is connection to the antenna relay and feeding it into the muting contact into the directly through the amplifier. Through the power supply, the original power supply. So I just have another auxiliary contact. So that's how I did it. The powers, I also have the original AC power supply, AC only power supply for the AF67. It's called the ES2 Victor. And it's a big box that is almost the size of both the PMR7 and the AF67. I'm using that. I can't be muted through that unless I use a switch. So the push to talk activates the antenna relay and the auxiliary contact runs the muting input. So that's the story. So Ray, you were 5 and 9, Charlie 10 over 9, and me 10 over 9 also previously. And let's see how this round goes. W4VRO, this is WF2U.
Very good, Mirror. WF2U in the group, W4VRO. I missed a little bit of that, Mirror. It's warming up and conditions are fading. Steve, you mentioned the DX-60 with built-in VFO. That must be one that you built in or some previous ham built in, if I remember correctly. Maybe my old memory is playing tricks on me, but was curious about that. And your comments on Lee's signal. Lee, I heard the same thing Steve was talking about when you first transmitted, your first go-around. And could copy you fine through that, but there was something on your signal, scratchy noise or something, and then it cleared up. And I think I've heard that before, so I don't know what's causing that. Brian missed most of that. It's just conditions changing, and so I missed part of your transmission. Buddy, good copy, still a good signal. And Lyle, 73 to you, good to hear you. And Cliff, someone was tuning up on the frequency, and so I missed part of your transmission. Charlie, old cartoons, wow. Brings back a lot of old memories. There was a tremendous amount of, I think my battery is going down in my microphone. I don't know if you can copy me. Very little modulation looks like here. Let me move on then. And Dave, thanks for calling in there. W4MEC in the group, W4VRO.
Okay, Ray, W4VRO in the group, W4MEC. Yeah, everybody's got good signals. We were a little light that time. Lee, you were kind of scratchy and noisy, almost like a bad mic cable or something, and then it settled right down. Or an arc. I was wondering if you were having an RF arc in the tuner or something. But it, whatever it was, it went away. It sounded your normal melodious self there. So, let's see. I got another email from Alan Fryer. He was interested in some art gear, and I've been telling him I need to go over to my bay and and pick through it there, get him a transmitter, a 40 and 80 meter transmitter. I've got a whole bunch of them, so he wants to modify them and make them work on CW, so, and he didn't need a modulator or a rack, so I'm going to see if I could find him a couple usable victims there for him to redo. And I've got another DVD player over there. I remember that now. So I've got another reason to go over there, see if that DVD player's any good. So I had a bunch of those things years ago. I don't know where they came from, but I had several of them, and a copy machine, old desktop copy machine, and that was all, had some broken gears in it. The people that owned it had forced the platen, tell you, the thing on the top there back, and stripped a whole bunch of gears in it, and I couldn't get any gears. It was a really old machine. And anyway, one day I said, I didn't want to take them to the dump, and I ended up taking them apart and getting all the mechanical parts out of motors and gears and pulleys and all that. And you know, I did take the electronics to the dump. So, and went over to the electronic recycle, and I guess they go someplace where a prisoner somewhere removes the chips, so that the chips can either be recycled or opened up and the gold and platinum taken out of them. There's a big industry for stripping a lot of that electronic gear. A lot of one of the prison industries is to remove those components for reprocessing. And they actually desolder them and carefully remove them from the circuit boards. And I don't know if they came from there, but I actually have bought impossible to find integrated circuits from a company up in New York State that specializes in, first off, they have impossible to find integrated circuits, and they are all been tested and certified as functioning. So the prices are not that bad either. So if you really need one and you can't find one, that's always a fallback plan. But a lot of times I figure they must have gone through the hands of somebody at a bench in a prison shop somewhere. All right, so I'm going to hold on to the end here. I'll just turn it over to Lee, K4VWD in the group W4MEC.
Thank you, Charlie. I'm sorry I'm having some audio problems. I don't know what that is. It's possible, I guess, with all the problems I've had with the amplifier in the past, it may be the amplifier. But I tried to zero beat Dave, so I'm down in frequency a little bit, and my frequency meter's jumping around, but it shows 3714 523 at the moment. So I tried to zero beat Dave when he checked in, so I may be a little low. And Charlie, I do appreciate you talking about the cartoons. My favorite cartoon that you mentioned was the Coyote and the Roadrunner. The Coyote and the Roadrunner. It's that thing just tickled me no end, and that was a good one. So I'll keep it going. So back up to you, Dave, and you might tell me whether you have heard anything on the audio this time. WA4LLR in the group, K4VWD.
K4VWD in the group, WA4LLR. No scratching, no popping this time, Lee. It was clear. And I think my favorite on the cartoons was when Wile E. Coyote was introducing himself as Super Genius. I know he had some run-ins with Bugs Bunny where he kept trying to capture him and turn him into a, Hassenpfeffer or something, but he was always introducing himself as Wile E. Coyote, Super Genius. Oh man, those were some good cartoons. Anyway, well, Charlie, sounds like you got the market cornered on old DVD players. And they can sure be aggravating, I know that. 7-3 to Lyle and 7-3 to Cliff. And Ray didn't say that he was signing, so I don't know. But we'll certainly do a 73 round. And Mir, thanks for the info on the muting. And thank you for your input on it, Steve, as well. Yeah, I've got a couple of different power supplies I use with the LMAX. I've got the one that runs the AC supply that runs both the transmitter and the receiver. I'm trying to remember, is that the 1070 or something like that? And then I've got the power supply that was just designed for the receiver that has a built-in S-meter. And I kept looking through the material on it, but never found any mention or provision that they made to mute the receiver. So I was just curious on. I hadn't tried it, and I'd like to get that one set up with AF67 to run them together and have the S meter. So I'll have to give that some more thought. Anyway, let's go ahead and do a 73 round. Certainly appreciate everybody coming out today. So, buddy, you'll turn it over to Mir. N4LQ, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, N4LQ. It's thought-provoking stuff on the power supplies there. And, yeah, well, the muting is done normally by just turning off the B+ to the receiver. So, on the LMAC receivers. So that's not all that great of an idea, and I think just breaking the speaker contact works fine for me, as long as the AGC recovers quick enough, and it seems to do fine. It does okay. Let's see. I had a QSO last night with Bob Howell, K9EID, and I was telling him, I said, Bob, you need to come up with a Howell D104 using a crystal element for boat anchors. I said that thing would sell like hotcakes. And he said, well, you can't do that because crystal elements use Rochelle salts and you can't get them anymore, or something like that. Well, I did a little study here on Rochelle salts, ROCHELL, and that's a manufactured chemical product. It's not something you go dig up in a mine, and of course they can be formed in the crystals, but here's a place that sells bottles of Rochelle salts made by Loud Wolf, but it's used for medicinal purposes such as laxatives, and I never thought about trying a D104 for that purpose, but anyhow, it'd be fun to experiment with. And there is a YouTube video of a guy who actually made a crystal microphone using these salts, and used it for a guitar pickup, and it sounded absolutely beautiful. So the potential is there if somebody's willing to come up with a microphone. And Ray, you asked about the VFO. If you go to my QRZ page, you'll see the VFO and the DX-60. It's one of the N3ZI DDS kits, and I just cut a hole in the front panel and stuck it in there. I wouldn't recommend doing that. It's too much work. Just build it in a box and plug it in the back for an external VFO. But I just got wild and decided to go ahead and do this. So anyway, for those of you that it's gone, we'll say 73, and for the rest of you that remain, 73 if you're leaving, and I'm hanging on to the end. KN4R, N4LQ.
Okay, Steve, very good. N4LQ in the group, KN4R returning. All right, very good. Well, it's interesting to see how the band's changing, but Anyway, I'll go ahead and say 73s. I've enjoyed it. Hope everybody has a great day. And there you go. So, buddy, over to you. WB4ARK in the group. KN4R, 73s.
KN4R, WB4ARK. Well, I wonder if Bob Heil is kind of gotten past his prime of inventing things. Maybe he could turn it over to some of his cohorts that was with the company and let them do some of the research on that. You'd think that would be a possibility. I think that would be a good microphone element if someone could come up with a device like that that would work. I've seen that element in the D104s, and I think it's certainly a viable concept. So we'll just leave it at that. Well, I'll say 73. Everybody have a great rest of the week. And over to Mir, WF2U, WB4ARK.
Yeah, WB4ARK. And the net, this is WF2U. Yeah, okay, very good. Good copy this time. But signals are a little bit down anyway, by at least 10-20 dB from the previous round. Actually, the previous round started to go down already. And yeah, Steve, that's exactly what I did. The speaker line is interrupted by the auxiliary contact on the antenna relay, the coax relay, and that's what I do. Once in a while I get a little bit of whoop in the speaker when I go to receive, but yeah, it's the ALC that sometimes responds a little bit slowly. It really depends. What else? Yeah. Oh, Dave, my power supply is the PSR 117, and it had the built-in option for the S-meter, as you know. And yeah, it's interesting that they really didn't do much of any arrangement for really muting it. But this time I used my AF67 in the previous net last week and before when I started to get it on the air again with the crystal, and I just wanted to test today how stable the VFO is, and I really didn't have to correct anything. I had enough time to warm it up, and I'm running on the VFO in this net. So 73, everybody. We'll see you all on Thursday. I'm making it to the restaurant for the luncheon. For a change, I haven't been there, I think, at least 2 months. I missed 2 luncheons. And Charlie, hope you feel better with your cold. And it's going around a little bit nowadays. So take care all, and it goes to, well, I don't know if Ray signed off. I think he did, but just in case he didn't, then you pick it up, Ray. Otherwise, I guess it's Charlie's turn. So W4VRO, and the net, this is WFTU 73 band. I'll be standing by until the end.
WF2U, this is W4VRO. I did sign off, I think, but let me see if I can get a little bit more audio out of this thing. I think the battery in my D104 is about gone. Lee, I wanted to comment if you can hear me on Earl. Thank you so much for that report. I've thought about Earl numerous times and wondered how he was doing. And it sounds like he's doing great. 96 and still driving. I hope I am. I hope I can hang in here till 96. That's a long time. Lee, I thought we were the oldest people on the net, including the old members such as Earl, but he's way ahead of us. And Charlie, I just really enjoyed those old cartoons. Sometimes I would go to a bad movie to see the cartoon again, but that was very enjoyable. Those cartoons of the 50s. So hope you copied that. Lee, 73, and no more noise on your signal. We could still copy the audio fine. And Steve, that clears up my question on the DX-60. Sounds like a good mod. Oh, and the D104, I wish it could be resurrected. I would buy a new one, even though I have a lot of old D104s. Thanks again, Lee, 73, W4MEC, W4VR.
Okay, Ray, W4VRO in the group, W4MEC. Alrighty, folks, we'll look for you on Thursday. Don't forget that. And maybe I won't be Typhoid Charlie coming to the thing there. Anyway, y'all have a good rest of the week here, and good to talk to all of you this morning. 73 for now, and K4VWD, W4MEC. Bye-bye.
Okay, Charlie. Bye-bye. This is K4VWD, and thank you for turning it over to me. It's been a great day, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm going to probably go sit down and do some reading and fall asleep here in a minute. For some reason, I woke up this morning at 2:30, so I've been up for a while, but now I'm getting sleepy. So I'll probably go take a nap here in just a little bit. But I won't lie down. I'll sit down to read and probably fall asleep. So, 7-3, God bless everybody. Look forward to talking to you Thursday morning. And look forward to seeing you at the lunch on Thursday. So, back up to you, Dave. WA4LLR in the group, K4VWD. So long.
All right, Lee, fine business. Very good. All right, does anybody have any final comments before we close the net? Come now. Okay. Well, I've certainly enjoyed it as well. I appreciate every person that attended and spoke up this morning. Always good to get on the air with this fine group of fellows. So, gentlemen, 73, may God bless each of you, and Lord willing, we will catch you either on the air or in person on Thursday. So, thank you again for your participation. This is WA4LLR, Dave in Burnsville, North Carolina, closing this session of the Old Friends Net and returning the frequency to normal use, 7-3.